Hello students, today's topic is about seizures, perioperative considerations. What is seizure? By definition, seizure is transient. It is a transient clinical manifestation that results in epileptic neuronal activity. There is inadequate inhibition of excessive excitation of both large group of neurons. This manifestation, its manifestation depends on which group of neurons are involved and the intensity of the discharge. If the seizures are occurring repeatedly, it is called as epilepsy. Now we will see the etiology. The etiology of seizures, it may be due to metabolic. In metabolic, it may be congenital or acquired. Acquired consists of seizures are most common in hypoglycemia, hyperglycemia. Hyponatremia is the most common cause. Hypoxia also leads to seizures. Hypocalcemia, uremia, toxemia, toxins, and drugs. Either withdrawal of the anticonvulsant drugs or intoxication of the anticonvulsant drugs. Then seizures may occur because of infection. These infection consist of systemic infection. In systemic infection, there may be febrile convulsions or hyperthermia. Hyperthermia may lead to convulsions. Intracranial infection. The intracranial infection includes meningitis, encephalitis, and cerebral abscess. Then structural, gliotic scarring, the temporal lobe sclerosis, post-traumatic seizures are also common. Post-infection there may be seizures. The congenital malformations and vascular malformations leads to seizures, and tumor, cerebral tumors, that can also lead to seizures. Now we will see the presentation of seizure. The seizures are mainly classified into partial seizures or generalized seizures. There is tonic-clonic or grand mal seizure is the example of fit or convulsion. If patient gets sensation that seizure is imminent, is termed as aura. Then patient becomes unconscious. For a short time, patient will exhibit tonic flexion. It will be followed by jaw clamped, shut, and eyes are rolled up. The limbs become stiff and it adopts position of adduction and extension. This is the presentation of the seizure. During this period, the patient may become apneic and cyanotic also. This phase may last up to 30 seconds. This leads to clonic phase. This tonic phase is followed by clonic phase. This affects all limbs, jaw, facial muscles. There can be excessive salivation and partially obstructed respiration. It can be complicated by bleeding from the gums and lips. Then there is autonomic phenomenon. This autonomic phenomenon includes there are changes in heart rate, blood pressure, there may be cutaneous flushing. This may last for 30 to 60 seconds. The consciousness regains gradually. Patient, after regaining consciousness, patient may complain of headache and fatigue. They may also go in deep sleep and have generalized muscle ache and generalized muscle pain may be there. Now we see the International League Against Epilepsy, the classification of the seizures. Seizures are classified as generalized seizures. In generalized seizure, there may be absence of seizure, myoclonic seizures, clonic seizures, tonic-clonic seizure, and atonic seizures. Then partial seizures. Seizures are classified grand generalized seizure and partial seizure. Partial seizures are also called local seizure or focal seizures. Simple partial seizures with only motor signs. With these simple partial seizures may accompanied with somatosensory or spatial sensory signs. It may associated with autonomic symptoms or signs. There may be psychic symptoms. Then complex partial seizure, simple partial onset followed by impaired consciousness and or with impaired consciousness from outset. See partial seizures evolving to a generalized seizures, tonic or clonic. Simple partial seizures evolving generalized seizures. Second, complex partial seizures evolving generalized seizures. Simple partial seizures evolving complete partial seizures, then evolving generalized seizure. This is the classification. Now we will see the status. That means in classification only two things, generalized and partial seizures or focal seizures. Status epilepticus. Seizures occurred for at least 30 minutes. It is called as status epilepticus. Then seizures has been in progress for more than 5 minutes is also called as status epilepticus. And third, if second seizure occurs without full recovery of the consciousness. These are the three definitions of the status epilepticus. Then why it is important to treat the seizures? Because there are physiological changes. These physiological changes in phase 1 compensation and phase 2 decompensation. Is in phase 1 compensation there are autonomic changes. These changes are in phase 1 compensation. There is vomiting, there may be salivation, there is incontinence, there is hyperpyrexia, and there are cardiovascular changes. It leads to hypertension. And there is a massive catecholamine release in phase 1. There is lactic acidosis, there may be hyperglycemia, and brain undergoes increased metabolism and increase in blood flow. This is followed by phase 2 compensation. In phase 2 compensation, there may be cardiovascular compromise, there may be hypotension, there is decrease in cardiac output. In phase 2 compensation, there may be pulmonary edema, cardiac failure, hypoglycemia, hyponatremia. There may be hyperkalemia. And in phase 2 decompensation, there is increase in intracranial pressure. These are the reasons, therefore, we must treat the seizures. And in phase 2, it is followed by cerebral edema. The benzodiazepines are commonly used. Why they are used? Because they decrease seizures by acute down regulation of GABA A receptors. Now we will see the reasons of the seizures. In this, the type of surgery that places patient at risk of seizure. These surgeries are neurosurgery. Patients are more prone for seizures than carotid and cardiac surgery and other surgeries. Neurosurgery. These neurosurgery include intracranial supratentorial neurosurgery, then neurosurgery for trauma, surgery for cerebral abscess, glioma surgery, meningioma removal, ventricular drainage, patient who had seizures preoperatively, and seizures are most common during awake craniotomy for resection of dominant hemisphere seizure foci. Then other types of surgeries, altering patient's biochemistry. These surgeries are hyponatremia. This hyponatremia is most common cause. It may be due to hypovolemia, hypervolemia, or euvolemia. Then urological procedures, the TURP procedures. In TURP procedure, there is a dilutional hyponatremia, and it is secondary to absorption or lysine. The glycine is used for the bladder irrigation. Then seizures. In this surgery, seizures occurs if serum sodium level falls below 115 millimole per liter. The symptoms will be apprehension, confusion, and headache. Hyponatremia sensorial. Hyponatremia may be hypovolemic, euvolemic, or hypervolemic. The hypovolemic reasons will be GI losses, vomiting and diarrhea, skin losses, third space losses, renal loss due to diuretics, renal damage. Euvolemic patient. These patients are syndromes of SIADH, inappropriate secretion of antidiuretic hormone. Then patients of renal failure, water intoxication. Then hypervolemic patients. Hypervolemic are congestive cardiac failure, nephrosis, liver dysfunction, and water intoxication. Other surgeries are carotid and cardiac surgery. Carotid endarterectomy is more common for the seizures. Why? Because plaque or thrombi embolize to their brain and causes them to seizure. Another reason is inadequate perfusion following the manipulation or clamping of the carotid artery. And third is entry of air in their cerebral circulation. These are the causes of seizures in carotid and carotid endarterectomy. In cardiac surgeries, the reason is embolic phenomena results in post-operative seizures. There are microbubbles from within the heart or air entering through the bypass circuit. Another cause is interventional endovascular procedures. These procedures include stent, coils, glue, embolizing to cerebral vasculature, and it results in seizures. Other surgeries include abdominal surgery. Abdominal surgeries consist of bowel obstruction, inflammatory bowel disease, where there is a third space loss is significant. Another surgery are burn and plastic surgery, undergoing extensive reconstructive procedures with massive fluid shift and decrease in serum sodium. Another endocrine and metabolic disorders causing seizures are hypernatremia, hyperkalemia, hypercalcemia, hypo and hyperglycemia, hypomagnesemia, renal and hepatic failure, and encephalitis, hypothyroidism, and Hashimoto's thyroiditis. These are metabolic disorders causing and endocrine disorders causing the seizures. Drugs and toxins. Drugs are themselves are proconvulsants. They interfere with the existing anti-epileptic medications, or they may elicit seizures in presence of renal or hepatic failure. They may produce seizures due to withdrawal of anticonvulsant drugs. They may exhibit direct cerebral toxicity when these anticonvulsant drugs are consumed in overdoses. Psychotropic medications are more prone for seizures. Seizure medications produce seizure after sudden withdrawal. The drugs consist of which causes seizures are phenothiazines, tricyclic antidepressants, SSR, monooxidase inhibitors. Then most common is meperidine. The meperidine, especially in presence of renal impairment or monoamines oxidase inhibitor, it may cause seizures. Narcotic drugs on withdrawal causes the seizures. Beta-lactam antibiotics due to GABA antagonism, it causes seizures. INH, isoniazid, by antagonizing pyridoxine phosphate. Then another drugs are aminoglycosides, metronidazole, quinolones, zidovudine. They may cause seizures. Then IV contrast media also cause seizures. Chemotherapeutic agents, theophylline is most common causes of seizures. It causes seizure. Then beta blockers, NSAID, antiarrhythmic agents, cimetidine, local anesthetics, alcohol, cocaine, all these drugs causes seizures. Then phencyclidine derivatives, ketamine, it causes seizure. Insulin causes hypoglycemia and can lead to seizures. Levodopa, thiazides, benzodiazepines in withdrawal or following antagonism with flumazenil, salicylates, carbamazepine, and barbiturates on withdrawal can lead to seizures. This is the long list of the drugs causing seizures. Now alcohol. Greater the alcohol consumption, greater the risk of seizures. It can take place within 24 to 48 hours of the withdrawal or in association with drinking. It may also involve hyponatremia, hypomagnesemia, and hypoglycemia. Alcohol can cause and it can lead to seizures. Alcohol can lead to liver failure and may contribute to seizures. The treatment of seizure should include thiamine to avoid development of wernicke encephalopathy. Then recreational drugs that causes seizures are cocaine, amphetamine, LSD, erythropoietin use and withdrawal of the narcotics can lead to seizures. Other participants of seizures are pyrexia, infection, increased in use of alcohol, stress, fatigue and sleep deprivation. Now we will see the treatment of seizure. Number 1, prevent the further injury. Then emphasis should be given on airway, breathing and circulation. Third, oxygen should be given immediately. Next, if patient is apneic, bag mask ventilation should be given. During tonic phase, jaw will be shut and attempt should not be made to open the jaw. Then secure the IV access. Once the tonic phase disappears, that means tonic phase is followed by clonic phase, give IV fluids, then 50 ml of 50% dextrose with thiamine, 250 mg if hypoglycemia is suspected. Then monitoring. We should monitor with pulse oximetry, ECG and NIBP. Anti-seizure medications. That depends on if seizures recur rapidly, then seizure lasts for more than 10 minutes and if seizures last longer than customary for the patients. Drug therapy for status epilepticus. Early status 0 to 30 minutes. Lorazepam and diazepam are the drug of choice. Lorazepam is given 4 mg per kg IV, diazepam 10 to 20 mg IV or rectally. In established status 30 to 60 or 90 minutes, phenytoin 15 mg per kg IV, fosphenytoin 15 mg per kg IV or valproate 25 mg per kg IV can be given. In refractory status, that means more than 90 minutes, induction dose of propofol followed by infusion designed to effect the burst suppression on EEG, or dose of thiopenton sufficient to effect seizure control followed by infusion designed to effect burst suppression. And we can give midazolam, dose is 0.1 to 0.4 mg per kg IV, followed by infusion. Now we will see the diagnosis. The diagnosis is made by investigation. Blood should be taken for ABG, electrolytes. In electrolytes, we should look for sodium, magnesium, calcium, then renal and liver functions, complete blood count to rule out the infection, coagulation status, blood culture, CSF culture, and CT brain. Thank you.